Hello everyone, welcome to this new TouchDesigner tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to continue with the study of the Generative Design book, and the next chapter is the P221, and it's something like this. We're going to end with a network like this one. You can see that is very simple, but in this case we will focus on the script. So this will take us some time, but the result will be this one. You can see that is the same as here. We are making the same thing. And yeah, so I think that we can start. So I'm going to move this to this side, and we're going to use a empty network. So first we're going to put all we need on the network, and after that we're going to focus on the scripting. Okay, so if we look first at this script of processing, we can see that have some interaction with the mouse, that is our position in x-axis, and we have an interaction with the backspace key. Okay, and yeah, so we can use that. So this will be using a panel for the mouse X. We're going to select inside U, and after that we're going to use a math. This math we need to multiply our value by or rearrange. You can do whatever the bot you want to parent dot width. Okay, and after that we need to put now our script chop, and finally a null, that this null will be renamed to pose and will be our instances. So we have this first part. The second part is to use the geometry. So we're going to use a circle. That is because if we go back here, we can see that we're drawing an ellipse. Okay, and if we go here and see, we have the diameter. You can see that this diameter is 1. So here, if we need a circle of diameter 1, we need that this radius is 0.5. And now you can see that the size is 1. Then after that, we put geometry, then our camera, and finally a constant material. We don't need a light because we're using a constant. Also, you can see that the color is 0, so we change it to black. And then we use the render, so we can see our circle. Then we use an over because we're going to use a feedback. We can put it right now. Oops. Okay, and finally we use a transform, so we can put our background color, or also you can do it another way, that is using this constant. You can set here that instead of multiply the operation, we can say over and swap order. So now we have our white background. Okay, and finally we use a null, that it's null we need to rename to BG. So we're going to go up a level to our project container, and on the layout we change our height to 1280. Okay, and finally on the look page we will look to the BG. So now we are seeing this. We can split our screen, or you can split it here and then select panel on the right panel, and you can start seeing here that we have this position in pixels. if you want to get rid of this float value, we can go to the OP and select round. And now you can see that we are only with integer values. Okay, another thing is to resize or render. So we're going to type here parent dot width and here parent dot height. We change the pixel format to 32-bit float. This will help us to have a better feedback, clear screen. And finally, our camera will also need to be orthographic. We're going to look at bottom left, so it's positioned here, and our ortho width will be the parent dot width. Oops, sorry. Okay, so we're looking at the feedback, so that's why it looks this kind of strange. And checking the code here, we can see that the backspace key delayed the display. So we're going to use a keyboard in. And this keyboard in, if we go to display button, we can see that there are a lot of keys available, but there are some also missing, but we can still using them. So we need the backspace. If you see, here is not showing any error or warning, and it shows key backspace. So if we press the backspace key, you can see that now it's working, the interaction. But you need to have in mind that this interaction only works when you are on the panel. Sorry, when you are interacting with the panel. If you are on the network and you make the same key pressing, you will have problems because the key backspace in this case have another function in the network. So if I press it, you will delete any operator you have selected. So you need to have that in mind. So you first go here to the panel, make one click, and now we're good. So now this we can export it to this pulse, and the screen is clear. So basically this is the network that we will end, but now we will focus here on the script callbacks. So if I make this here, and I'm going to put this aside. So there are some things that we need to almost like here, almost all, but we will be a little bit different. So first we need to declare the directions. Okay, so after the script clear, can comment define directions. These directions will be north equal to 0, northeast equal to 1, east equal to 2, southeast equal to 3, south equal to 4, southwest equal to 5, west equal to 6, and northwest equal to 7. Okay, after this we are not going to declare this because this is already done, and the step size, yeah, this will be declared. Okay, so here we can put define step size, and we're going to put step size equal to 1. And yeah, I think that's it. So after this, we need to have the value with the interaction of the mouse X, and to have that, we need to type, sorry, create mouse X variable, and this will be mouse X equal to script op dot inputs, and we're going to select the first input, that is 0 index, and then the name inside u, and finally the evaluation of that value. Then we need to define the samples that will be for the for loop, and also for the samples that we have in the output to draw here or agents. Okay, so then define samples, and this will be script op dot samples, sorry, dot num samples. This will be equal to mouse X. And finally, we need to define the channels that these values will be stored. So define output variables, and this will be pose X will be equal to script op dot append chan, and the name of the chan will be pose X. We can copy and paste this here and only change to Y, and then pose Y. So if we save and we go back here, you can see that the amount of samples will change in order to this inside you, as you can see here, and we have two output channels that will be pose X and pose Y. Okay, so we're good from here. The next step is to make our for loop. So we can have this guide here, and this will be for I in range, and the range that we will have this for is this script num samples. Then we're going to make the next things. First, we're going to make a random direction. This direction is equal to random.rand range, and our range will be from 0 to 8, but you need to know that this is not include, so we're really going from 0 to 7. Okay, that is the values that we declared here. I'm going to save, and if you go back to here, random is not defined, so we need to import the random module. So we only put here import random, and now we're good. Okay, next step is to make the if statements, and will be something similar. So if direction, if direction is equal to north, then on pose X of the current value, or the current loop number or index of the loop, as you want to name it, we're going to state in the same value of pose X, and on pose Y we're going to go up the value of y plus step size divided by 2. So I'm going to explain you this. Here, when we make first all of these things and then we draw the ellipse with the pose x plus a step size divided by 2. So that's why we put this step size divided by 2. Okay, but if we go back here to the network, again, we have an error because there is no x solved. We haven't defined yet. So to make this work, first we need to understand that we need to store these values in a memory and these values will be stored every final code of the for loop. So we can store that value and we can access from here as the first value. So we have this continuation of the positions and not something more scattered. So to make this, we first need to declare here in the setup parameters. I'm going to put here the custom, and you can see that value A and value B are the same that are here. So we don't need that. We need to append, but we need to append xy, and then we need to name the variable, so we can use that variable with that name. And finally, we need to label how we can read that parameter on the parameter page. Okay, so this will be old pose. So if I save and then go to script and put setup parameters, then we have old pose, that is old pose x, and old pose y. This is old pose. Okay, so this on the script up, before clearing, we need to access to that old position, and this will be x old will be equal to script up dot par dot old pose x, and x old, sorry, y old will be script up dot par dot old pose y. Okay, so if I save now our script, what's happening? Line 15, old pose. Sorry, this is lowercase, and now you can see that we have these values. Okay, and finally, after that, now we can store this last value on these parameters that will be our memory. So here we type script of dot par dot old pose x will be equal to pose x of I, and copy and paste and only change the x for y. Okay, so now you can start seeing that these values are still are stored, and then we can start instancing or circle, and then we drag this translate op to translate x and translate y, and we can see anything because it only goes to north, and this only 1 pixel and is right on this side. So okay, so then we can continue to this another positions, and this will be very easy because we are going to copy and paste this one. So if we need to go to northeast, then we need to move one place to the north and one place to the Y position, to the right. So we can only copy and paste this and we save. Then if I copy and paste and get rid of north and only focus on east, we need to stay on the same position in Y, but we need to go one position to the right. So we're moving east. To move southeast, we move one place to the right and we go one place to the south, or one place down on the Y axis. Then if we move to south, we don't move on the X position, but we move one position down on the Y position. Then copy and paste, and southwest, and if we go to the west, then our position will be a change from from right to left, and then we need to subtract the step size divided by 2. Then to go to the west, we move one place to the left on the X position, but we stay on the same position in the Y axis. Then finally, to go to the northwest, we need to move, we need to move one position to the left on the X axis and one position to up on the Y axis. And if I go back to here, we can start seeing that these positions are there, but we can't see it because this script is only cooking when we have this movement of the mouse. So to get rid of that and have this script always cooking, we only need to put something that cooks every frame. So a noise can be helpful. So our amplitude will be 0, and the trick is that when you activate this time slice, then we can see this position. And now you can see that we are here. Okay, so let me see if we are good. Okay, I think yes. Okay, so let me see why we can see it. We are here, but we are not moving from that place, and I don't think why is happening that. Let me see. Sold, why old? Okay, 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 okay. That's weird. X old, Y old, old plus Y. Okay, old pose. Okay, very good. So then from this we need to cycle that this agent only moves inside this canvas, and if we go outside, then we loop inside this guy. Okay, so after these directions, we need to check if if pose x is equal to 1, then sorry, if pose x is greater than our parent dot width, then we move this pose x to the 0 position. And if pose x is equal I is equal sorry is less than 0, then we're going to move that pose x of the current samples to the parent dot width. So now you can see that is cycling. And finally, I can copy and paste this and only change y, and then here to height, and then this is y, and here also y, post y, and parent dot height. So now you can start seeing that we are moving from these values, and then we can use the over on the feedback, and you can start seeing that these positions are getting stored. Okay, but I think I need to fix something because it's not working good, and let me see what is the problem. Just wait a second. Okay guys, the problem was that here I was forgetting to put southeast, so that's why it loops onto these values. So if I put south, then our sketch is working very good. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the script. And finally, here we can see that the fill color will be a black color and with a transparency of 40. So if we make this like 40 divided by 100, or alpha will be 0.4, and now we can start seeing these random positions of the agents, and you can see that this is this warning, but it prevents us to make active this blending transparency. But if we make if we make it or we turn it on, it won't have the same output that we want to have, because it will add the values instead of making it like smooth from like these ones. So that's why we need to have it turned off, sorry. So yeah, that's it. You can start playing with something in the here in the code, in the script. So you can change your step size, and you can see that it generates something random and a little bit different. And also, yeah, I think that's the thing you can start playing right now, only the step size, and see where it goes when you interact with it. So that's it. That's this tutorial. I hope you enjoy it and learn more about how to translate the JavaScript code for processing to Python code. there are some things that are similar, but there are also other things that work differently because there are different languages, and also the special use of Python from to TouchDesigner. There also are there is also more implications like this script of inputs and something like that. But I think uh, that I hope I explained it myself well, so you can learn more about this code and this language, Python. And yeah, that's it. So any comment or doubt, you can leave it on the comment section. And also, I want to thank all of my patrons because of your patience, and I will assure you that I will make more tutorials so you can understand more how to make these generative sketches on TouchDesigner. So yeah, that's it. I see you on the next tutorial. Goodbye.